If it means stopping Nimrod's dark future and the utter extermination of mutant kind, the X-Men are willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. All this and more in the pages of House of X issue number 4. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? Well, now this is cool. As the comic opens up, we see how Xavier and the rest of the mutants in Krakatoa are able to pool their amazing abilities to contact the strike team who are in space right now. Jeez, imagine how much they save on their wireless bill doing things this way. I bet Xavier and his people never drop a call, even on the other end of the universe. Now, how exactly is the strike team led by Cyclops doing right now? Honestly, not good. Despite literally having intel on a possible future and having the drop on the Orchis base, they still ended up getting all messed up when the head of security seppuku'd himself. Husk and Archangel are already dead, Logan's still having a tough time using his healing factor, and Kurt has a bunch of broken ribs, which is going to make bamfing around difficult. Their mission is still undeniably clear: destroy the mother mold at all cost, and right now that means dislodging it from 4 different points so the giant head falls into the sun. They have to hurry though, as this was only ever meant to be a smash and grab operation, and a whole army of Sentinel drones are headed back to the base and are going to be here at any moment. Then you got the Lady Doctor, who for all intents and purposes is in charge of things right now. She's still horrified over her husband's death, but it's actually the Omega Sentinel of all people who ends up managing to slap her back to reality, saying that if she doesn't stop the X-Men now, then her love literally died for no reason. The Orchis forces end up mobilizing, but it's not enough to stop the first 2 locks from being undone, Wolverine cutting his way through a whole swath of guards like they were nothing, and a bunch of others being taken hostage. Monet and Jean Grey, who is still running the psychic call right now, end up getting ambushed outside when more Orchis ships show up. Monet heroically decides to wade into the fray, activating her demonic red penance form, which is honestly a thing I forgot she could do, if only so Jean Grey can keep the call going a little longer. The job of undoing the final lock falls to Mystique, who gets turned around on the base and ends up coming face to face with Omega Sentinel and the Doctor running all of Orchis. She then gets blown out the airlock. Geez, how could this have been avoided? If only they didn't recognize you, Mystique, when you showed up. Too bad you don't have the powers to shapeshift or something. The situation is only growing more dire, and it hits Cyclops and the rest of the mutants that they are officially at the point of no return, and that they better finish this mission or at the very least all die trying. Wolverine and Kurt figure if they can't undo the last mother mold lock from inside the ship, then, well, Kurt's just gonna have to bamf Wolvie out there so he can do it the old-fashioned way. Even though doing so would 100% mean suicide for the old Knucklehead. He only asks Nightcrawler before he takes him over if he thinks that Wolverine can go to heaven. Because, you know, canonically Wolverine has already been to hell once or twice already, and you can only imagine he doesn't want to do that again if it can be avoided. Kurt says probably the nicest, sweetest thing ever, essentially: wherever you go, Wolverine, open your eyes and you'll find me there waiting for you. Aww. Wolverine picked probably the best time to dump the mother mold head as well, as it comes online at this moment, and it's talking all sorts of cryptic Judgment Day Terminator shit. The head compares the mutants and the humans to the Olympian gods and titans respectively, but that the machines will be the next link in that chain, the humans to steal fire from the gods. In doing so, making them gods themselves, which actually makes a lot of sense when we stop and consider that Nimrod religion based around the machine we saw in the future. Now, the strike team may have destroyed the mother mold, but they lost so much along the way. Cyclops ends up getting cornered by a vengeful Doctor, and Jean and everyone else inside the ship gets crushed when the Sentinels that were sent away on reconnaissance duty return back. That means as the comic winds down, Xavier hears the horrified psychic screams of all of his adopted children as they are slowly but surely murdered on the Orchis base. And believe it or not, it's on that note right there that House of X issue number 4 comes to a close, and I gotta say, this issue took the story into some rather unexpected directions. Do I think the team is dead? Of course not. Especially when a bunch of the X-Men died anyway in that last Uncanny X-Men arc, and we have this weird pod people situation going on in Krakoa. I'm sure this is just a reason to explain that. I do like the idea that Xavier, who up until now has been so smug and so sure of himself because he's basically been getting spoilers from Moira, really didn't see any of this coming. And that they're monkeying around with time, space, and events as they're supposed to happen is clearly having ripple effects that they couldn't possibly have foreseen until right now. And even though I'm certain these deaths will be quickly reversed, I do say that they really went out out like champs, didn't they? Overall, I'd give this one a really positive 8.5 out of 10, and I'm very much excited to see how the rest of this story is going to shake out.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.